Looked like it's pretty easy to catch that fish. Is that 5/16 or 3/8?
Smaller one.
There's one for me. Hit it on the thump on the way down. Yo-yoing it. It's a decent fish.
What's happening, fishing friends? Welcome to another episode. Today I've got a full review for you, a review on the Abu Garcia ZATA / Roxani combo. Yeah, if you didn't know, the Abu Garcia ZATA combo is the exact same thing as this. It comes in like an army green with red accents. The Abu Garcia Roxani, which is what I have here, sorry that's upside down, is exclusive to Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Now I was even confused about this because I had a ton of people asking about the ZATA. I went to pick it up and I saw this at Bass Pro and I'm like, is this the same thing? I ended up calling Abu Garcia customer service, and after going through like 15 different people, they did confirm, yes, that is a Bass Pro exclusive. It's the same reel, it's the same combo. So today we'll be doing an in-depth look at this. I'll go over all the features like I do. I've actually broken it down into a few categories, the most important things, and I'm gonna try to do all of my combo / reel reviews that way. That way it's the same criteria every time. I'll finish up with what I feel are the pros and cons of this reel, show you some footage on the water, and kind of do conclusion. So enough yapping, let's take this over to the tabletop and get a closer look.
All right, I apologize for the colorful background. This is actually my painting booth. I've got it all set up. I didn't have anywhere to clear this off, so we're getting a hands-on look with a nice, pretty background. So let's talk about specifications of the Abu Garcia ZATA / Roxani reel. Yes, as I said, it's the exact same reel. The Roxani comes in this tan and a blue color, whereas the ZATA only comes in that army green. And again, the Roxani is only available at Bass Pro Shops / Cabela's, whereas the ZATA you can find a bunch of places. I think they even had it on sale on Amazon for like 120, I want to say. Normally it's 175, so I'll link that down below in case you are interested in the reel. Now this does have 10+1 bearings. As I said, the reel alone MSRP is $174.99, so $175. Just so I can give you a little bit closer look at the rod here, it is a 24-ton graphite blank. It does have the EVA reel nut deal here that tightens the reel down. I like that, so when your finger lays on that, it is nice soft EVA. Does have those wind grips on it. I know a lot of people look for and like those. But otherwise, it's a pretty generic rod, nothing too crazy about it. It's actually, the specifications of this almost match exactly with the Abu Garcia Vengeance rod, which is $49.99. Now the reel itself, it only comes in the 7.1-to-1 gear ratio. And that kind of stinks. If you want something else, tough. And this does bring in 29 inches or 74 centimeters per turn. Do they always do that? I don't remember that. 29 inches per turn. This does come with the EVA grips on it. I do like that those are a little bit larger, better than like the stock ones that come on the Revo X. I actually traded mine out to some spare ones that I had, the same kind here, but I like those. Those usually do pretty well. This does have a max 20-pound carbon fiber, and they call it the carbon matrix drag, but carbon fiber drag. The thumb bar does engage well. Pretty quiet, but it is smooth and there's no like catching in between. That's one complaint I have had with my Abu Garcia Revo SX, is it does tend to stick, so you have to like make sure you click it over kind of hard. The reel alone weighs in at 7.5 ounces, which is not horrible. That's kind of middle of the road. For a $175 reel, I would think that it would have been lighter though. Now when you get up close, it is nice because your spool tension does click. Doesn't matter to me one way or another if it does or not, but I know a lot of people like that. And of course, your star drag does click. Pretty smooth out of the box. Now this is a full graphite frame and side plate. Now that kind of made me frown because, like I said, $175 reel, why in the world would it not have at least an aluminum frame like its brother, a reel that has actually done pretty darn well for me, the Abu Garcia Revo X. Now this has not been cleaned in a couple years. You can tell this thing is dirty past dirty. Look at that poor line guide. Oh my goodness, it's growing hair. It's actually old algae and stuff, but I've been happy with this reel. I used it for frogging. There was kind of like a weird sound coming out of it. I'll go over that more when I do the full review on this, but I actually had a loose side plate screw that was like a 1/16 of a turn ready to fall out. It was like hanging out of there. I didn't notice it. So otherwise, this reel is done well. Now the features on this does have the external magnetic brakes, similar to all the other, you know, Abu Garcia stuff. But when you take this off, you flip this little switch down and you go to take the side plate off. This also kind of made me frown. So you can see there inside there, it does have the 10 different magnetic brake discs inside of it. And this also does have the internal centrifugal brake. So for these, if you're wondering how they work, I currently have 2 on and 2 off. So You can see when I move this down, see when I move this and push it out, that little blue tab comes out on the bottom right here. That's how you know the brakes are on. When they actually move like that, that tab's gonna push out like that when you cast, and it's gonna run on the inside of this little brass race. It's gonna push against that and help slow the spool down. So if you have it locked toward the center where it doesn't move, that means it's locked and it's off. So the two blue ones I have on. Now, this kind of made me upset because $175 reel, this side plate comes right off, right? There's a chance of losing that. Now on this, the Revo X is an aluminum frame, which I like. I'm a big fan of aluminum frames, but again, same thing. You can see this even has the brake shoe deals to fit those extra brakes. And I would reckon if we put these two together, is it? Nope. It's not an exact fit. They are a little bit different, but extremely similar in size and shape. This one, especially for a new person, you've already got enough to worry about in there. I think for $175, they should have at least made that with the arm thing so it stays attached. So that's it for the features. Let's go take a closer look at this and the different things that I'm going to rate this on.
Okay, so now that we discussed all the features, let's talk about the few categories. The first thing that I always consider when I pick up a new rod or reel, of course, is the comfort. After you pick it up, how does the rod and reel combo or the reel itself feel in your hands? So with this being a combo, you know, you're not buying something separate and picking a reel. You get the rod and reel together. So how does it feel? And right off in hand, to me, this is a very comfortable combo. As we talked about, the frame of the reel and everything is a very familiar frame, you know, same as a lot of the Lose type and the other reels, you know, you see in this category. A lot of them are very similar, you know, similar to that Revo X. It's just a very familiar, not any sort of weird designs or shapes on it. It's just a normal feeling reel.
No?
Jam run.
I found one that doesn't even go a pound.
And one thing I like is the trigger on the bottom of the rod, this little reel trigger deal here. I like how theirs kind of comes up to a curve. I know some people hate that. My dad likes a real short reel trigger here. I know other people are that way. I kind of like this. So like if you set the hook hard on a fish or you're trying to fight that fish, you've got something like a stop there, almost like the butt of a knife where it has a, you know, a nice heel on it there where your hand doesn't slip down. I personally like it. Now, again, I don't go crazy over this being an exposed blank because that's not really a blank. When you look at the size of the blank here compared to this piece is usually like a tube that fits over that on a lot of them. So I don't go crazy about that. Like I've told you all so many times before, I'm someone who fingers the line with my finger here. So that way you can feel exactly if you get any bites, you've got that line laying on your finger, or your fingertips real sensitive, you can feel it right there. You know, I've got the trigger between my ring and pinky. It's just a real comfortable fit. It's not a huge reel, you know, it's not super tiny. In hand feels really good. One little upgrade you get with it are the wind grips. And I like the wind grips a lot. You know, nice and sticky. It doesn't get slippery when it's wet. I like that over just the regular EVA, I think. I really am not a huge, like, I have to have this type. I've got all different types, cork, EVA, wind. I like the wind though, it's comfortable. So moving on to category number 2, ease of use. After I pick it up and it's comfortable, how easy is it to use? You know, is there any weird stuff about it? Is it hard to figure out? I always try to keep that in mind for my fellow, you know, new anglers out there if you're looking to pick one up. Are there any little nuances or anything you need to know about it? With this, not really. Okay, so of course you've got your external magnetic brakes that you can turn up, turn down. That's all, you know, very familiar and common, that dial. Where it gets a little weird is after you take the side plate off, so you've got a little lever right here that you flip. After you do that, the side plate comes off. Once you crack it open, that's what I mean. That's where it gets kind of iffy. So, I mean, the centrifugal brakes aren't that hard to get used to. If you're a beginner, I think it's easier just to start out with a reel that only has magnetic brakes, like the Revo X that we looked at over there. To me, that's a lot easier than having to pop this open, figure out, is it on or off? You know, when you're just starting to learn these things, you get confused. Plus, you have to take this off. There's a good chance you're going to lose that. Like I said over there, I would have liked to have seen this having the connector deal so this swings and stays connected to the frame. But, you know, the internal centrifugal brakes, though, that does add a little bit of adjustability. As a beginner, you know, getting this as a combo, I think something with just the magnetic brakes is easy to start with. All right, category number 3. What's the castability like? Everybody always asks, how does it do with heavier lures, lighter lures? Out in testing, I threw a 1/4 ounce lipless up to a 1/2 ounce, I think, spinnerbait on this. And I didn't have any issues once I got it dialed in. Now, initially, I think I did have a couple backlashes. just trying to test and see how I was going to get the best performance. You know, how many internal brakes on. I think I ended up just putting 2 on, and then magnetic brakes I think I had to like just a little over half, if I remember right. But once I got it dialed in, it casted everything well. I had 15-pound fluorocarbon on this, so all those baits did well with it. It felt well. Casting distance felt pretty good. You know, it's kind of like the Mock Crush. That's another reel that kind of confuses me in that price point. It casts well. I like how it feels in hand, but I'm not sure why it's priced there. That's something we'll talk about this. But once I got it dialed in, it casts well. It felt pretty smooth out of the gate. I notice now it does have like a little bit of a geary noise to it, but I mean nothing super huge. After using it for a few months, still like the reel. Still going to continue to use it for things like treble hook lures, a little bit lighter lures where I'm not putting a ton of stress on this. Again, remember, it's graphite frame and graphite side plate, so I'm going to use it for lighter lures, topwater, you know, things where I've got treble hooks on there. I'm not winching fish out of 50-pound grass or throwing, you know, 3-ounce lures with it. Okay, category number 4, durability and power. So on paper it looks great. You know, it's got a big drag number, but where that kind of falls off and doesn't make sense to me is this, again, is a graphite frame and graphite side plate reel. So normally, you know, for a real durable reel, like if you start looking at musky reels or some of the larger swim bait reels, or even stuff like frogging and, you know, flipping, pitching, punching, some of those reels are always going to have an aluminum frame and an aluminum side plate. Not all of them, but a lot of them will market that for larger lures. Things are going to put more stress on your reel. You're honestly going to be a lot better off if you've got an aluminum frame and an aluminum side plate. So though this might have 20 pounds of stopping power, if this is completely locked down on your drag, something has to give in that, you know, in this, and if you think of the word, this thing, in this combination. So either the hooks are going to bend out, your line's going to break, you're going to end up breaking your rod, something's going to end up giving, and a lot of times you're going to get torquing and twisting in here, and it doesn't take a lot. And just a little bit of that torquing and twisting, misaligning your pinion versus the main gear, or, you know, the side plate flexing just a little bit, you're going to start to get grindy. If you've ever had like a real cheap reel and had a real big fish on, or, you know, got a real bad, you know, snag and you're really pulling on it, sometimes that's enough to really make your reel sound geary. And if it's a real big fish and you're fighting it in real thick stuff, you can completely toast a reel. I've done it. So for me, the drag doesn't really match the durability of the reel, so I'm going to kind of leave that up to you. Now, the last category, 5, that I like to touch on is any sort of extra features, anything that I think, you know, makes the value of it worth it for getting this, that, and the other. For me, you know, it's a pretty plain reel. The only feature that I really think it should have in any reel where you actually have to open a side plate and get into it is the deal on the frame that keeps the side plate connected. So like the SLX, do I have one? This is the regular SLX, $99 reel, and when you pop that off, see how that side plate stays on? And it makes sense. You have to get inside this reel to adjust the brakes. So as a new person, that's just one less thing to worry about. You know, if I'm already worried about adjusting brakes and backlash, the last thing I want to do is accidentally drop my side plate in the water and be completely done for the day and figure out how I'm going to fix it. So that's the biggest thing to me that this combo, this reel needs, is it should have that side plate attached. For $75 did I say for the ZATA reel? Not an attached side plate? I don't know, I think that's pretty stingy of them. So, all right, so in closing, what do I think are the pros and cons of this reel and this combo? Well, number 1, you put it in your hand, it's a familiar, very comfortable feeling combo. Once you get it set up, it does cast really well. I haven't had this in any casting competitions. Maybe I'll add that soon just to see how it compares against others, but out of the gate, I felt like it did pretty well. It did have good casting distance on it. Now, I guess the final thing would be is if you're somebody who's adamant about your rod and reel matching and you hate to like have to go out and buy them separate, obviously this does match. It does come in some cool colors. I know a lot of people like that ZATA or Zeta, however you say it, in the olive, you know, drab green, or kind of this desert camo look. It does come in cool colors. I got to give them that. I like the flat, you know, matte type finish on it. But that's where I start to go into the cons. Now, though it is a combo and it's sold together for $199, I think the combo value versus the return on what you're getting could certainly be better. So if the reel alone is $175, you're telling me this is a $25 rod? Well, strangely enough, the specs of this rod, the 24-ton blank there, as you can see, this matches the Abu Garcia, I want to say Vengeance? That's their $49 version. It's the exact same rod. So why is that rod $49 but this one's $25, right? I mean, it does even have wind grips. That should make it more expensive, right? So it makes me question, have they overpriced the reel? You know, kind of underpriced the rod to make it look like a better combo? I don't know. That's just kind of how I perceive it. So again, on price of this, the reel alone is $175. You're getting a graphite frame, no other sort of external features, no fancy dials, no keepers. It's just got the dual brakes. The Abu Garcia Revo X, a reel that I've liked a lot, has an aluminum frame and it's $99. The only big difference between the two is it has magnetic brakes is all, as opposed to this one that has the magnetic and the internal centrifugal. So is the extra $75 worth it for that? I don't think so. You know, if you think about breaking these two up, you could find the Abu Garcia, I've seen the Revo X on sale lately for 80 bucks, $20 off. You could get that with one of the new Abu Garcia Veritas that, you know, is supposed to have all these new features and lighter. That's like, what, a $100 rod regularly? So say you get that for $180, you're looking at about the same price as this combo. And you've got an aluminum frame reel. To me, that's a better buy. I'm not saying this is a bad combo, don't buy it. I just think for the price, if you break the two up, you know, it kind of starts to make sense of, well, you know, why wouldn't I just buy, you know, this and put them together, right? Because I think the Veritas is a 30-ton blank, right? So you'd be getting a more sensitive blank. That one's supposed to be lighter and improved, you know. I don't know, just kind of the way I see it, I think you're better off if you break up the two when you're looking at this combo compared to some of the others. So that's gonna do it for me. Comment below and let me know, what do you think about the Abu Garcia ZATA or Zeta slash Roxani combo and reel? Have you used it and what are your experiences with it? I know there's a lot of other channels who have done reviews on it. I know Ben Nowak did one. I remember watching his on the ZATA. Burley Fishing did one. Go check out theirs. I honestly don't remember what Ben's was. I think I did start to watch Burley's a while ago. I don't really remember their opinions on it, but if this is something that you're looking at, always get different viewpoints because somebody else might have a different opinion than I have, and you're more comfortable with theirs. You know, my opinion's not right. It's just my opinion. So if you're looking at the combo, I just want to try to give you as much information as I can so you can make an informed buying option. So comment below and let me know what you think. I appreciate feedback from you all. But tonight's subscribed fishing friend is Jared Maynard. Jared, thanks for always watching and supporting. And again, thank you all, everybody else out there, for watching me, supporting me, continuing to fill me with subscriptions and likes and comments. Like, it blows me away. I know I'm behind on comments and stuff catching up, but the amount of support you guys have given has been awesome. I mean, I'm creeping up on 100,000 subscribers. Blows my mind. Never thought that would be possible. And it wouldn't be possible without all of you. So again, sincerely, thank you all very much. That's going to do it for me. I need to go edit. So thanks for watching and until next time.